It's June 30th, which means it's time for the monthly update. I'm Ben Price. Thanks for joining me for another monthly update. This one for the month of June, which, if you saw the May monthly update, you know I spent a good portion of on the Virgin Brilliant Lady in Alaska. I did a bunch of stuff in Alaska, so let me tell you about that. I'm going to share some of the things that I did. Please note that these are just my opinions, really, about this itinerary if you're ever going to do an Alaskan cruise. I did spend some time in Alaska last year around the same time frame, May-June time frame. There are some better cities and some worse cities or towns depending on what you're going to do and why you're there. Me being there working, not wanting to spend money on excursions and going out and doing a bunch of these travel things, some of the cities just aren't great for individual exploring, but let me tell you what I did do. In Ketchikan, which is one of my favorite cities or towns that we stop in, we stop there every week. The other ones sort of changed or varied from voyage to voyage. In Ketchikan, which is very walkable, they have the famous Creek Street, which is the old red light district, so I explored that quite a bit. I love walking in and around all the little shops and the stores that are on Creek Street. There's cool little history along that street as well, and you can take probably a good 45 minutes wandering and reading all the plaques about the houses and everything that are located along that river. There's also the Salmon Walk. There are no salmon running upstream during the time that I was there, so I didn't see any fish, but it's still a cool little walk up into this little forested area and then back right into the town. The Great Alaskan Lumberjack Show. I did go to the Great Alaskan Lumberjack Show last year. Coming on Virgin this year, they have a lumberjack from the Great Alaskan Lumberjack Show that's a part of the crew, and oh my gosh, I'm blanking on his name. Aiden, who I met, we embarked on the same day. He was a lovely guy, lovely person. We spent some time together. He is on Virgin as the lumberjack, giving talks and enrichment classes, I guess, for lack of a better word, on lumberjack lifestyle and the games that they play at the Great Alaskan Lumberjack Show, which is a real sport. While I was on board, one of Aiden's friends was actually in Turkey at the World Lumberjack Sports Championships. So good luck to them. I don't know how they turned out in that event, but they were competing for the US in that event or in that competition. Maybe they won, maybe they didn't, I don't know. But real sports, very cool stuff. If you're ever in Ketchikan, I highly recommend you go check out the Great Alaskan Lumberjack Show. See Aiden, tell him I said hi, and you'll have a great time. I also visited 3 restaurants and 1 donut shop. All of the crew, I'll start with the donut shop. All of the crew on board the ships, even last year, were raving about jellyfish donuts. I had the donut, it was a good donut, but it was rather expensive for what it was. The ordering process was a little weird. I really enjoyed it. I had the Captain Crunch donut. It was a glazed donut with Captain Crunch on top, or Cinnamon Toast Crunch on top. What was it called? I can't remember. The Cinnatoast Crunch or something. They couldn't say Cinnamon Toast, I don't know. But it was good. I visited that place. I went to a local restaurant that had chowder. I went with my friend Rondell, who was on board. We had some chowder there. It was delicious. And then I went to the Alaskan Fish House, which is right next door to the Great Alaskan Lumberjack Show. I went there with my friend Christine, who I've spoken about quite a bit on my monthly updates and on my other travel vlogs that I've been making. She's wonderful. She was on board with her friend Scott and her travel agent that she works with, Jason, so I got to spend some time with them. But Christine and I went off. We just happened to meet up on the same day that we were out in Ketchikan and decided to go for lunch together. And I took her to the fish house, and she had a great time. She got crab. She's a messy eater. Got a lot of the crab in the stomach, not on the shirt, so that was good. But if you're ever in Ketchikan and you've done the Lumberjack Show, go to the fish house. Delicious. I also had breakfast at one of the hotels, or it was called the Hotel, the New York Hotel Cafe or something like that. It was really good. I had a breakfast there. That was the day before, the same day I went to the Lumberjack show. I had breakfast there and then went to the show. It was really great. And I will say, if you're ever there or in Alaska in general, bring a raincoat because it is a rainforest area that you're in. It is really rainy. I was walking around in the rain for quite a bit of the time I was exploring, but Ketchikan has to be one of my favorite stops on the itinerary. So if you're going to Alaska, not on a cruise, I highly recommend you check out Ketchikan either way. One other place that I explored more fully than some of the other cities or towns that we stopped in was Sitka. From the port in Sitka, you get on a shuttle. That shuttle takes you to the center of town, and from there, you can take a 10-minute or so walk to the Sitka National Historic Park. I think is what it's called. You'll see a clip of it here. I have a video of it. I might be wrong, but the sign will tell you. From that area, there's a really beautiful little forest hike walk area, and you can see a bunch of totem poles. So they have some information about totem poles all through this walk. And then they had a museum, and I stopped in the museum. It was a really great little museum. They had a movie that I watched, a little film, historical film. That was really informative, really fun. They had some artifacts there, and then the coolest thing, I don't have a lot of footage of this or pictures, but I got to see one of the local sculptors, one of the indigenous sculptors they had there, who was working on a mask at the time that I was there, and showed me the log that it came from, how he was gonna get 2 masks out of it, saw some of the tools he was using. It was really cool. So if you're ever in Sitka, I highly recommend you check out the museum, the National Historic Park there, the totem walk, and then you can also go to the raptor enclosure or rehabilitation center and the grizzly bear area. You can see all of these things. I didn't get a chance to go. I do want to next year. I am going back. I'll check that out, but I feel like it's either way, you're gonna have a good time doing any one of those 3 things, or all of those things if you have the time. Check them out. We did stop in some other cities. We stopped in Skagway, we stopped in Juneau, we stopped in Prince Rupert. All of these places are great. However, me being there not wanting to spend money, if you're not going out on an excursion, it's just too expensive. I'm not gonna pay $300 every day to go and do these excursions, and I don't know the right people to get hooked up to do these things for free. So I wasn't exploring those towns. I still wandered around a little bit. You have a coffee shop here, a coffee shop there. You can have a little snack out in the port, but other than that, I didn't really explore much of these places. I'd like to. I feel like I'll do it next year because I have friends and family coming on board and they'll want to do things, so I'll do it with them. Let's talk about one more place that I got to stop, and that was Victoria. This was only once we stopped in Victoria on my very last voyage, so the first 2 voyages that I did were 7 days each. The last one was a 12-day voyage, so we had more stops. We had 2 Canadian stops rather than 1, which is normally Prince Rupert. We stopped in Victoria on our final day, and I love Victoria. In Victoria is one of my favorite restaurants. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a second, but as luck would have it, when I found out I was stopping in Victoria, one of my friends posted on their Instagram story that they were in Victoria for some shows. I reached out. Erica, the tour manager, who I know really well, got in touch with me and said, yes, Keith and I are in Victoria, let's meet up. So I got to meet up with them. We had breakfast together, which was lovely. It was really nice to catch up with them. I actually found out that we're gonna be in Scotland, in Edinburgh, on the same dates as well. So I got to see them in Victoria. Hopefully I'll get to bump into them again later on in the year in Scotland. Had breakfast with them. Then I did the Parliament tour, which is free. I've done it before, recommend you do it. I always like taking the tour. It's really interesting, and depending on who gives you the tour, you learn a little bit about their personal story along with the tour. Did that. Wandered down to Fisherman's Wharf. I was hoping to have some fresh oysters, but they hadn't come in for the day yet. So it just turned out to be a nice little stroll for me down to Fisherman's Wharf. And then I headed back to Pagliacci's. Pagliacci's is one of my favorite restaurants ever. It's an Italian restaurant, as you could probably have guessed by the name. It's delicious. I wandered upon it several years ago, and now every time I'm in Victoria, I try to stop in. I had delicious breadsticks. They give you breadsticks to start They're fantastic. It's like a focaccia breadstick, but not a focaccia bread. It's salty, it's oily, it's delicious. Then I had a soup to start, which was phenomenal. It was, there was 2 soups that they had that day, but as a result of an incident, they got mixed together. Delicious either way. I got 2 soups for the price of 1, which I was not angry about. And then I had the delicious, delicious seafood lasagna. Phenomenal lunch. I had an amazing time. After that, wandered back to the shuttle, went back to the ship, had a nap, did my shows, and the next day, flew home. When I arrived home the next day, I landed at 6:30 p.m., which is unheard of. Normally I'm landing at 1 o'clock in the morning. So this was a really nice change of pace. Tori picked me up. She had a delicious dinner ready for me. When I'm away, I always crave the same thing. It's tomato soup and grilled cheese. I think it's just because I can't cook while I'm away. I can't make things for myself, so I can't have these simple little meals. I love grilled cheese and tomato soup. We had that for dinner, had a little snuggle, hit the bed hard, and then the following days we spent together. We went on a picnic, we rode our bikes to the river, had a picnic by the river. I've been riding my bike, doing some show prep for a show that I have coming up in Lethbridge on July 11th. If you're in Lethbridge, get your tickets, come check out the show. And just hanging out really, just hanging out, getting ready for the coming months. I have 2 months at home, really looking forward to it, but those are stories for the end of those months. I think for now, we've come to the end of this monthly update. So thank you for following along. I appreciate you liking and subscribing to this page, leaving a comment, saying hello, letting me know that you're enjoying the videos. Until next time, stay happy, stay healthy, and I will see you at the end of July.